Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Maxwell Faulkner, and welcome into a real Faulking Sports Podcast. Well, the 2026 NFL playoffs are here, so now we can finally start watching some professional football without focusing solely on our fantasy football lineups, right? Right? You all know it's true. Fantasy football season is over. So if you are watching football now, it's because you actually like watching the best teams fight against each other in order to reach a common goal. The Super Bowl. You see, the Super Bowl is far more important than anyone's fantasy football lineup. And even fantasy football owners understand that. But some of you fantasy football only fans are probably saying that I'm just salty because I lost this year in fantasy. Me, you're a big baby. Yeah, I mean, that is true. I did lose. I came in fourth. Not too happy about it. I mean, CeeDee Lamb was supposed to be my big dog on the team, but ended up having one of the worst seasons of his career. He's overrated. I don't want to ever see CD topping his best season where he had 135 catches, over 1,700 receiving yards, and 12 touchdowns. Dak Prescott sucks. He's the one throwing the ball to CD. He sucks. And that whole Dallas Cowboy organization is toxic. Why am I talking about CD? The Cowboys blow and miss the playoffs. I guess I am a little salty for my fantasy football season. Fucking CD Lamb. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Let's break down the 2026 NFL playoff bracket. Who will be going to the Super Bowl? How about we start with the NFC bracket? To lead off the NFC divisional round, the 4-seed Los Angeles Rams are taking on the 5-seed Carolina Panthers. Those Panthers squeaked their way into the playoffs this last Sunday after they lost to the Bucs on Saturday. Can we all believe that? The Bucs needed the Atlanta Falcons to lose to make the playoffs, while the Panthers needed them to beat the piss-smelling New Orleans Saints in order for them to make it. Not only did the Saints piss down their legs and lost against the Falcons, but their city permanently smells like urine and throw up. And that's the truth. So do the sneaky Carolina Panthers have a chance against the Rams? Well, if we all forgot, the Panthers have already beaten the Rams this season 31-28 at home. Bryce Young had the best season of his career, throwing over 3,000 passing yards and 23 touchdowns, along with Rico Dowdle running for over 1,000 yards. And who can forget rookie sensation Taroa McMillan? I think I said that right, Taroa. Anyway, T. McMillan had over 1,000 receiving yards once again in his rookie season. Now, that being said, no freaking way are the Panthers taking down Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua. Stafford is having an MVP year with over 4,400 passing yards and 42 touchdowns. Puka has over 1,600 receiving yards, and even Kyron Williams rushed over 1,100 yards. The Rams are taking down the Panthers at home in a payback game. I'm calling it 31-14. It's going to be a blowout. Next, the 3-seed Philadelphia Eagles are taking on the 6-seed San Francisco 49ers. Now, San Francisco is sitting at a 12-5 record and is considered a 6 seed. Isn't that crazy? That's a crazy good record for a 6 seed. How the 49ers got it done this year with Purdy out 11 games is outstanding. Hats off to Coach Shanahan. He did an unbelievable job to keep the 49ers in it. The 49ers have quite a team, with Christian McCaffrey leading the way with his comeback season. We all remember he was out most of the year last year. He had over 2,000 scrimmage yards and 17 touchdowns. Woo! What a beast. Will Brock Purdy be okay to play, though? I heard he broke a nail on his pinky after Seattle's defense dominated them this past Saturday. Huge factor if he doesn't play. Let's keep that all in mind. Now, the Eagles aren't the same team as they were a year ago when they absolutely slaughtered the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It's funny. Everyone says that Saquon has had a down year and yet it still has over 1,100 rushing yards and 9 total touchdowns. Still a great season from this guy. Everyone's got to love Saquon. Jalen Hurts only had 8 rushing touchdowns this season because teams are starting to learn how to stop the tush push. It's about time, right? It's about freaking time. But it was only a matter of time before teams figured it out. All right. I like both offenses here, but I think the Eagles defense is going to be the difference maker. Jalen Carter is a stud, man. He's a stud. The Eagles defense ranks 13th in yards per game and ninth in passing yards. It's going to be a tight game. Don't get me wrong. It will be a tight one, but I got the defending champions making it to the next round, 27-21. Eagles are going to the next round. Now, this next game, of course, my Chicago Bears have to take on their rival, the Green Bay freaking Packers. What an awesome game, though. All right, all right. And potentially the best game in the NFC divisional round. The two-seeded Bears are at home taking on a beat up seven-seeded Packers team. I mean, poor Packers. Me. Jordan Love has been hurt. Josh Jacobs, their star running back, has knee problems. Their star tight end, Tucker Kraft, is out the rest of the season. And even Micah Parsons, their best defender, is out for season. They're banged up. But even with all these injuries, the Packers snuck into the playoffs somehow. I think Love and Jacobs will be good to go for this game, but at what percent? 70, 80, maybe 90%? There's no way they're at 100% ready to go. 100% healthy? No way. Now, can they beat the Bears at Soldier Field? Well, of course they can, because Coach LaFleur is one of the smartest coaches in the game and understands how to control the game. Now, the Bears are giving their fans something to finally cheer about again. Yay. Yay. Yes, we're in the playoffs. Yay. Their offense actually looks good for once, too. Okay? We've got to be honest about that. Caleb Williams, our quarterback, officially has the most passing yards in a single season for the Bears. He passed for 3,942 yards. Can you believe that the Bears have never had a quarterback throw over 4,000 yards? Seriously, Bears? Seriously? That's crazy to me. Anyway, the Bears have an elite wide receiver duo in Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. Rookie tight end Colston Loveland is waking up, and I love the Bears running game with Swift, who rushed over 1,100 yards, and Monunga is pretty good too. Let's not forget about that. You better believe I'm taking my Bears and a come-from-behind win, 24-21 at home. Let's go Bears. Bear down, baby. Bear down. Now let's move on to round two. We lead it off with the number one seeded Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams at the 5 seed. Seattle had an incredible season. They have one of the best defenses in the league. They ranked third in rushing, 12th in pass yards allowed, and 6th in total yards allowed. Sam Darnold had over 4,000 passing yards. Jackson Smith-Njigba had over 1,700 receiving yards. Kenneth Walker III had over 1,000 rushing yards, while backup running back Zach Charbonnet had 12 rushing touchdowns. What a rushing combo there, man. So here's the matchups. Stafford versus Darnold. I got Stafford. No doubt in my mind. I got Stafford. Kyron Williams versus the combo of Walker and Charbonnet. I'm going with the combo. I'm going with the combo there in Seattle. And finally, there's Njigba versus Puka. Even though Njigba had a better season, barely had a better season, I got Puka because the chemistry he and Stafford have is outstanding, and I like Stafford more than I like Darnold. So I'm going Puka on that matchup. Wow. After all those name calls that I just had, all these players, all these star players, this is going to be one heck of a game. Now, during the season, they split the series. Rams won 21-19, and then, hey, those Seattle Seahawks came back and won 38-37 in OT, baby. Wow, split the series 1-1. Now, some of you are going to hate me for this pick, but I'm not only going for a guy who's going for the MVP, but I'm going with arguably a top 5 coach in the NFL. Sean McVay and the Rams are taking down the 1 seed in an upset 31-30. Next, we have my number 2 Bears taking on the number 3 Eagles. This is a fun one, of course. Bears are at home taking on the defending champions from last season. And hey, did we all forget that the Bears beat the Eagles at the Link this season on Black Friday? This is a rematch game. But not only because the Eagles want this one back, but do we all remember back in 2019? The score was 16-15. The Philadelphia Eagles were winning. The Bears had the ball and had a chance to win the game. Head coach Matt Nagy decided not to get closer to the goal line, but Rather, run the clock out to allow Cody, handicap parking space Parky, to try and kick a 43-yard field goal to beat the defending Super Bowl champions from the previous season. And
out here tonight,
as it so often does. 43-yard attempt from the right hash mark. And he hits the upright again. That's impossible.
Doink, doink, double doinker. Bears lose. Yikes. I still can't believe that. All Bears fans remember that. The double doinker. Anyway, that's in the past. Now is now. Moving on. Head coach Ben Johnson is smarter than the majority of coaches the Bears have had in the past. All right. He's looking like he's going to transform this team into a contender for years to come. Now, I want to be a hometown homer on this one and choose my Bears, but I'm giving respect to the champions and giving it to the Eagles 25-23. You might be asking, why? Is Cairo Santos going to miss the game-winning field goal and repeat history? Maybe. Seems like that happens a lot with the Bears. It's true. All right. Moving on to the NFC Championship game. I have the Los Angeles Rams taking on the defending champions, the Eagles. Great coaching battle, right? Both championship coaches and quarterbacks are both champions as well. Eagles have a better defense, but the Rams have a better offense. I truly believe it. Puka versus Brown. Saquon versus Kyron. Stafford versus Hurts. This is a nail-biter. Potentially an overtime matchup. I'm still giving it, though, to Sean McVay and those Rams. 31-23. The Rams will win the NFC and will head to the Super Bowl. Now let's break down the AFC bracket. To lead it off, let's talk about the 5-seed Houston Texans taking on the 4-seed Pittsburgh Steelers. The Steelers beat the Ravens on Sunday night after kicker Tyler Loop missed a 44-yard field goal to win the game. I'm sure Baltimore fans are wondering, what in the world is happening with the Ravens? Last season, Mark Andrews dropped a 2-point conversion on the goal line to lose it in the AFC playoffs, and now they missed the playoffs for the first time in 3 years? Sheesh. Anyway, who cares? They didn't win the division. They didn't make the playoffs. Let's move on to a team that actually won the AFC North, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Head coach Mike Tomlin is a make-it-to-the-playoffs master. He really is. He really knows how to get that team to the playoffs, but they tend to fall short because they always lack talent, and you all know it's true. This season, though, they have a veteran quarterback in Aaron Ayahuasca Rodgers, a 2 running back combo that is working beautifully with Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell. And if DK Metcalf can keep his head focused on football rather than attacking fans, then the Steelers have an elite wide receiver Rodgers can throw to. If only they weren't facing a team that is so red hot. The Houston Texans are on a 9-game winning streak and are playing like one of the best teams in the league. The Texans defense is the best in the league. No doubt in my mind, they have the best defense in the league. They are number 1 in yards allowed, 4th in passing yards allowed, and 4th in rushing yards allowed. They are dominating on defense. Pittsburgh doesn't stand a chance against this elite defense. No freaking way. I have the Texans winning this game 24-17. All right, this next game honestly might be the best divisional round game in this year's playoffs. We're talking about the 3-seed Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the 6-seed Buffalo Bills. Jacksonville is looking outstanding. Trevor Lawrence is having by far the best season of his career with 38 total touchdowns this season. He's looking outstanding. Liam Cohen has really outdone himself. He's really transformed this team and has figured out how to use literally everyone on the field. This offense throws to everyone, and that is not a joke. You never know who's going to have the big game. Now, is that misdirection and good strategy? Or do the Jaguars not have a clear wide receiver one? Now, the Bills, on the other hand, you already know who they have. The MVP of last season, Josh Allen, who has a total of 39 touchdowns this season, including 14 rushing touchdowns. The Bills also have James Cook, who rushed for over 1,600 yards this season and is the league's leading rusher. Tough for him, though. The Jags are ranked number one in rushing defense this season. So who wins this game? I'm going with the upset. Is it really, though? Is this really an upset? I guess by the seed it's considered to be, but I'm going with the MVP Josh Allen to take down the Jaguars in Jacksonville 34-31. It's going to be one heck of a game, guys. Moving on to our next matchup, another great game. We have two-seeded New England Patriots taking on the seventh-seed Los Angeles Chargers. The Patriots are putting on a show this season. Drake May is looking like he can win the MVP race, and head coach Mike Vrabel can very well win the Coach of the Year. I love what he has done with New England. I do like the quarterback matchup. Veteran Justin Herbert taking on second-year player Drake May, but can we all agree? May is having a better overall season in a tough division, right? Right? The Patriots also have one of the best defenses in the league. They are ranked 7th in yards per game, 10th in passing yards, and 7th in rushing yards. I know I didn't talk at all about the Chargers, but that's because I'm not going to waste anyone's time and say the Patriots are moving on to the second round with a 24-10 victory. I don't think it's going to be very close. In the second round, we have the number one seed Denver Broncos taking on the 5 seed in the Houston Texans. Woo-wee! A defensive showdown here. This might very well be the game that is won by whoever has the most takeaways. Whoever decides to take care of the ball will win this game in the end. This game is fairly evenly matched. C.J. Stroud versus Bo Nix, that's a toss-up. Both are accurate quarterbacks that can have a huge game, but usually control the game rather than making the 60-yard touchdown pass, the showboating game. No, they control the game. This is a very tough matchup, and personally for me, a very tough decision. Nico Collins, who had over 1,100 yards this season, versus Cortland Sutton, who also had over 1,000 yards. But look out for the X factor on the Houston Texans. And I'm not talking about a playmaker. I'm not talking about a big-time playmaker. I'm talking about their kicker, Ka'imi Fairbairn. This guy doesn't miss field goals. He could very well be the guy who wins it in the end. Now, this is a coin flip for me. And usually when it comes down to that, you have to go with a team led by a coach who has been there and done that. I got the Super Bowl winning Sean Payton and the Denver Broncos to win this one. Going to be a tight one, not a high-scoring game, 16-13. A lot of field goals I'm picturing. Next is the 6 seed Buffalo Bills taking on the 2 seed in the New England Patriots in an AFC East showdown, baby. Both teams have split the series this season, but the Patriots won the East by 1 game. Wow. I love this game heading into the AFC Championship game. This is exactly what everyone wants to see. Am I right? 2 great quarterbacks, elite running backs, top defenses, and excellent coaching. The big question in this matchup is, can Drake May handle the pressure? He's only a second-year player going up against the MVP in one of the biggest games in his career. I'm going to say, heck no. Heck no. I'm going with the MVP Josh Allen in an absolute barn burner, burning down the barn, 38-35, Bills win. Moving on to the AFC Championship game, we have the 6 seed Buffalo Bills taking on the 1 seed Denver Broncos. Again, what an incredible matchup. Great quarterbacks, great defenses, great coaching once again. Now, it's a no-brainer. In my opinion, Josh Allen wins the quarterback battle. The Bills will also win the rushing battle with James Cook, though, who led the league in rushing yards again, right? But Denver is second in rushing yards allowed, so it could be a very tough day for James Cook. Let's all keep that in mind. Denver wins the defensive battle, but against an elite quarterback in Josh Allen, that might not matter. This is going to be a fun one in Denver. I know people are going to think that I'm crazy, but I'm going with MVP Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills to make it to the Super Bowl. Here's the big reason why, though. Josh Allen is arguably the best quarterback in the league. Now, that's debatable because everyone's got to say, what about Patrick Mahomes? What about Lamar Jackson, who won multiple MVPs, and Patty Mahomes, who won 3 Super Bowls? But guess what? Those guys didn't make the playoffs this year. Josh Allen has struggled against the Chiefs in past playoff appearances, but he doesn't have to face Patrick Mahomes anymore. Allen finally has a chance to show off his talent and take his team to the Super Bowl because there's not a better quarterback out there that can beat him. Bills to the Super Bowl, baby. It's about time, Josh Allen. It's about time. All right, here we go. We made it to the end. Finally, let's talk about that glorious 2026 Super Bowl located in Santa Clara, California. My picks are the Buffalo Bills taking on the Los Angeles Rams. What a matchup, right? Two elite offenses going against each other in a potential shootout. You have a Super Bowl winning quarterback, Matthew Stafford, going up against MVP Josh Allen. You have Super Bowl winning Sean McVay taking on an eager to be one of the great coaches in the league, Sean McDermott. Elite rushing, elite wide receivers. Boy, oh boy, this is a fun one, which is part of the reason why I picked it. Not only do I believe it's going to happen, but this is what I want to see in the Super Bowl. All right, let's go ahead and break down this game and compare. Matthew Stafford, who is having an MVP season, taking on Josh Allen, who once again won the MVP last year. Now, Stafford has the better weapons. That's without question. Puka Nacua is a top 5 wide receiver in the game, no doubt in my mind. And if he's healthy, veteran 6-time Pro Bowler Devontae Adams, who has been elite for his entire career. So the Rams will win the receiving battle. There's no doubt in my mind. Josh Allen likes to use James Cook and his tight ends for most of his passing attack, but it's his legs and body strength that puts him over the top. That is why I got MVP Allen over Stafford in the quarterback battle. Now, the rushing game is going to be a tight one with Kyren Williams rushing over 1,100 yards, but Buffalo still wins that battle to me because James Cook rushed over 1,600 yards and once again led the league in rushing. Not to mention, Josh Allen had 14 rushing touchdowns as a quarterback. Defensively, the Bills were ranked 8th in total yards allowed, while the Rams were ranked 17th. The Bills are ranked number 1 in pass defense, while the Rams are ranked 17th. And the Rams are ranked 13th in rushing defense, while the Bills are ranked 29th. Overall, I think the Bills won that matchup defensively, just based on stats. But I know we can sit here and talk about stats all day, but ultimately it comes down to great quarterback play and incredible coaching. Will Sean McVay and the Rams win their second Super Bowl in a friendly, basically home field environment? Or will Sean McDermott and Josh Allen finally give the Bills organization their first Super Bowl? I don't want this to sound like a Cinderella story or something, but I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to win their first ever Super Bowl. Yeah, baby. Like I said, there isn't a better quarterback in this year's NFL playoffs. We have some Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, but Josh Allen is on another level. And we know that. That is why I am choosing the Buffalo Bills, is because I believe it is time for Josh Allen to prove that he is not only elite from his MVP caliber stats, but he's elite where he can take a team to the Super Bowl and win it. So those are my picks, with the Buffalo Bills winning the whole shebang, baby. Do you agree? Disagree? Leave it in the comments and let's have a conversation about it. Thank you all for coming out to a real Faulking Sports podcast tonight. More segments to come, so please like, comment, and subscribe as you always do. And we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.